It's a fantastic opportunity for me to meet you and talk to you about some of the things I did.
মঞ্চে উপবিষ্ট ব্যক্তিরা যে কত মহান সে ব্যাপারে কিছু বয়ান ছিল, কিন্তু আপনাদের হাতে সময় কম বলে সেগুলো বাদ দিয়েছি। Let's cut to the chase, shall we?
And all the things I did, I think I did in a wrong way, but it came out right. Start doing, lending money to the poor people.
আচ্ছা, ওনার গলা ধরে গিয়েছিল। কথা বলতে গেলে অনেক সময় আমাদের এমন হয়। এটাকে ইংরেজিতে কি বলে? To have or get a frog in your throat. Dr. Yunus had a frog in his throat.
I didn't know anything about banking. If I knew banking, no way I would do something like this.
That sounds like a joke, a self-deprecating joke.
So not knowing something is maybe a blessing sometimes. You are open. You can do things in your way without worrying about the rules or the procedures and so on and so forth.
কোনো ব্যাপারে বিশেষজ্ঞ হলে যেমন সুবিধা আছে, বিশেষভাবে অজ্ঞ হলেও সুবিধা আছে।
So every time I needed a rule or a procedure how to do that, I have to look back. What do the conventional banks do? Once I learn how they do it, I just do the opposite. And it worked out. So that's what the microcredit is all about.
এখন আসছে গ্রামীণ ব্যাংকের সাথে অন্যান্য ব্যাংকের পার্থক্যসমূহ।
Conventional banks go to the rich, we go to the poor. Conventional banks go to men, I went to women. And conventional banks are owned by rich people. Grameen Bank is owned by poor people, the borrowers. They own the bank.
This reminds me of a quote attributed to Abraham Lincoln. কলেজে পড়ার সময় পৌরনীতি বইয়ে পেয়েছিলাম। Democracy is the rule of the people, for the people, and by the people.
Conventional banks need collateral. Without collateral, they are not going to talk to you. We dismiss the whole idea of collateral. Since we don't have collateral, we don't have lawyers. This is the only lawyer-free bank in the whole world.
ওনার কথা শুনে মনে হচ্ছে এটা একটা বিরাট জয়। আইনজীবীদেরকে যতটা দূরে রাখা যায় ততটাই মঙ্গলজনক।
Conventional bankers always telling me, we can't lend money to the poor people. You know why? Because they are not creditworthy.
Here comes what I think is his biggest moment in the speech.
Should the banks tell people whether they are creditworthy or not? Or that people should be telling the banks whether they are people-worthy or not? You reverse.
That is one thought-provoking question, isn't it?
Today, microcredit is everywhere, all over the world, including in this country, in the United States. So poverty is in the system, not in the people. People are as good as anybody could be. I give the example of bonsai tree. I said, you take the seed of the tallest tree in the forest and put it in a flower pot and let it grow. It grows only this big. It doesn't grow tall.
আচ্ছা, নিউ মার্কেটে কি বনসাই ট্রি বা বামন গাছ কিনতে পাওয়া যায়?
I said, poor people are bonsai people. Nothing wrong with their seeds. Simply system didn't work for them.
সব গরিব মানুষ কি সিস্টেমের কারণে গরিব? কিছু কিছু মানুষের ক্ষেত্রে আলসেমির একটা বড় ভূমিকা থাকে, তাই না?
We created a company with Adidas. They asked me what kind of social business we can do. I said, maybe you should create a separate company as a social business. Maybe your mission statement would be, nobody in the world should go without shoes.
Here comes the story of shoes for the poor. Shoes that cost as little as €1.
The CEO looks at me with big eyes. He said, but that's a big ambition. I look at him, I said, Adidas is a big company. And at the lunchtime, he asked me, whispers into my ears,
বলছি তোমার কানে কানে আমার তুমি। Wait a minute, there's one more.
How cheap the shoes should be in order to be affordable to the poorest people. I said, that's simple, maybe under €1. He says, you are a very difficult man. They took it very seriously. They worked for 2 years to produce those shoes and finally made it.
অনেক খুঁজেও এই জুতা দেখা পেলাম না, পেলে হয়তো নিজের গালে একটু ছোঁয়াতাম।
And you are the most creative person. You don't have to have the money to run a social business. All you need is a creative idea.
You don't have to have the money to run a social business. All you need is a creative idea. Is that really so?
Let's create that world. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I just had a frog in my throat. তো কেমন লাগলো এই ভিডিও? এরকম কাজ আরো দেখতে চাইলে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে রাখবেন। ধন্যবাদ, আবার আসবেন।